Okay, so hello, my name is Taylor Anthony. I'm very fascinated by our brains and how they work. I'm getting my master's in psychology, and I just love learning about the brain and the mind. In this presentation, I'll be going in detail how crucial it is to understand how your physical health is from your mental health, and your mental health is your physical health. So, many ignore their brains and just focus on their bodies. Why does my knee hurt? Why do I have road rage? Why do I have inflammation? Why am I so tired and feel weak all the time? And I have my associates in human services, which isn't really anything with psychology. It's just learning like how to read people, how to talk to people, how to make them feel better and give them life skills. And I have 4 years of therapy. So I just know a little bit about some things on mental health and physical health. Everything between your brain and your body is connected, and I'm very excited to show you guys a new perspective. So what is mental health? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, social well-being, and it affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act. It determines how we handle stress, how we relate to others, and our choices that we make. So mental health is crucial during stages of life from childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. It's even more crucial when you're a child, because when you're a child, everything you see is just new information, and you don't know how to process anything because you don't understand anything as a child. Like, what's that word? What's that mean? So, mental health is a combination of biological features, your genetics, like your family history, but it's very little, like your genetics, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't play that big of a part in your mental health. It's just your environment you were raised in, like your family, and then your life experiences if you suffered from trauma and abuse. And mental health is so important because it's your mindset and your outlook on life, your perspective. It's how you handle stress, and all life is stress. Like, if people don't have stress, then they just probably are sitting on buttloads of money. And so, relating and accepting others is very important as well. If people are intact with their mental health, and they may not treat people the best way because they probably don't know how to treat themselves. Choices we make for ourselves and others. So there's a very, very big stigma on mental health, which after COVID and how COVID affected so many lives of everybody just being in their house, and started the anxiety for a lot of people, and people started to realize like, oh, mental health is actually a thing. Like, it's not just what people think they have. So ignorance is a very big part of mental health, because a lot of people don't want to look in the mirror, and they don't want to, rip apart like what they see, the bad in themselves, their flaws. And shame is a big reason as well, because people don't ask for help. Like, nobody wants to put that pride down, that barrier down, and be like, hey, I'm not okay, I need help. That's why a lot of people that do finally go to therapy or take medication or whatever, it takes a lot of courage. And that's why a lot of people turn away from God as well, because God is somebody that we have to ask for help. We need a savior, but a lot of people don't think that we need a savior. So there's that pride that they don't want to ask for help. Why is understanding that our physical health so crucial? Oh, okay. It's so crucial for our mental health, for our brain, and the environment we're in. King Solomon summed it up nearly 2,900 years ago without extensive studies, but relying on divine inspiration, divine intervention. A merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dies in the bones. So that right there shows you that you're grateful, if you have gratitude, if you are happy, that's going to flow through your brain and your body. If you are broken and you're just like, wah, like that's going to carry through your brain and your body, and you're going to feel less energized just because you think and know that you're suffering through some things that you haven't addressed. The ACEs score is a very big study that shows that your mental health affects your physical health. It's a adverse childhood experience, traumatic events that occur in your childhood, violence, mental abuse, environments with substance abuse, if you're around it a lot as a kid, and then mental illnesses. Substance. The higher your score is, the sooner you could die. I know that sounds weird, and when I first learned that, I was like, what? It's just how your body handles distress, and if your ACEs score is really high, that means your body is usually on fight or flight more than others, so therefore your heart is pumping and racing, and your blood's just going, and you think that you're going to fight a grizzly bear all the time. That's not good for your brain, your body, your heart. So yes, it's like clinically proven that you can die 20 years earlier than the average person that didn't struggle from trauma. It's linked with chronic health problems, mental illnesses, substance abuse, and what leads to the physical pain. So generational trauma is a very big thing. And it's very hard to prove what I'm talking about, but it is semi-proven. But like when you're carried in the womb of your mother, you're attached to whatever she's feeling, experiencing, all of it. So it starts there. So even that generational trauma can start right there. It says in the Bible that each generation has a new, like, every generation needs to try better than the last generation. Like, we have to keep getting better because we have to break that generational trauma of just all this hurt and sin. But obviously, it's never going to end because we live on earth. Ignorance leads to physical pain. Like, just not wanting that help, not asking for it, just wanting to just put a cap on of everything that you've been through, like it's gonna come through in your body. And memory's not processed. Same thing with ignorance, or not really ignorance, it's just when you're a kid or an adult, or you have something that like severely, like you saw in war, or you saw somebody die in front of you. If you never process that, you are gonna keep living that. It's gonna be somewhere in your body. You're going to have difficulty concentrating, lack of motivation, and to change your habits, your bad habits in life that come with, addiction, nicotine, whatever. An ongoing national survey of households with young children have found high levels of childhood hunger, emotional distress among parents, disruption of child care, and that 10% of U.S. children live with someone who's mentally ill. And I'm mentally ill, so my children will live with somebody who's mentally ill. But it's okay. There's many, many things that we can do to soften and to pass it to our children. But how can we prevent this sickness in our body, the sickness that we have in our brains? Therapy. It's not even, therapy has such a stigma name to it because it's not even like you're sitting there because you have so many problems and whatever. And yeah, we do. Everybody has freaking problems. It's either, do you have the guts to not, sorry, I'm talking like me now. Do you have the guts to want to change and see that you're not okay, or do you just want to suppress it? But therapy is genuinely just a life coach. Someone just to sit and listen to you, because a lot of people don't sit and listen. They don't want to sit and listen. They don't have time to sit and listen. So sleep is very, very, very important for your body and your mind. You need your sleep. Healthy eating, These are the things that doctors are going to tell you before they give you medicine. How are you eating? How are you sleeping? Are you exercising? Sober living is a very, very big thing you can do for your brain and your body. And then Jesus, if you believe in it or not, just a higher power. Like, if you want to talk to a tree, just be like, man, like, take it. I don't want to deal with it. Heal me, please. Touch the grass with your feet or something. Get intact with the earth. Like, because we are not meant to live this city 9-to-5 life, this, that, credit cards, money, that we're just not meant for it. But in conclusion, we spoke about how important our brains are and how it really impacts our whole future. It starts with our brain. Our body would not move if our brain did not tell us to. So it's crazy to me that it's been so long and people still don't think. Most people still are like, my body leaves my brain. No, it does not. But I hope critical thinking happened in my presentation. Does anybody have any questions, comments? I know all you guys know psychology and you have your degree in psychology.
Well, in counseling, yeah.
Counseling, yeah. Do you have any corrections for me? Did I speak?
Well, watch your colloquialisms in your presentation.
Wait, what?
Watch your colloquialisms in presentation.
What is that?
Freaking.
Oh yeah, Aaron's face. Thank you guys. Hold on.